What's up, disc golf fans? Derek with Gatekeeper Media, and we have a special guest today, Luke Bayne, Australia's highest rated player. We're going to hang out today. We're going to watch him kind of go through what he's going through to prepare for the World Championship here at Brewster. How you feeling?
Pretty bloody good. Yeah, we've been here for 2 weeks, so kind of feels like home.
Sweet.
So yeah, let's have a fun day today.
All right, let's do it.
Thanks, Derek. Let's do it. A little bit more wind than normal, but wouldn't mind having a practice throw.
Luckily, all these are practice throws.
Well, yeah, exactly. No penalty here. Throw it down the middle. So like practice one, I think is all we need. Yeah, thankfully I've just played 10 holes very casually with Hannah and Davis and Clay. So yeah, like that's kind of the practice for the morning, and body's feeling pretty good. I've had back issues for 2 weeks. So like I've had slight issues. For the most part, it's like halfway through the day or the end of the day, she gets a bit sore. But I'm also, oh, nice. So, but I've also like been away from home for about 3 months. And so for the majority of that, I've been camping in a tent. The air pad has about a dozen holes in it. So maybe within like 15 minutes of blowing it up, it's sort of half deflated. So I think that's contributing to some slight back pain, but like this is the other thing that I've like realized on this trip is pretty much everyone that's playing, like I'm usually the highest Pdga number. So in terms of experience, I've got very little. In terms of touring, I've got very little. All these guys have like played every course how many times before? So it does make it really tough when you're doing a lot of touring for new spots, because you've only got a couple days after traveling, finishing the previous tournament to, you know, dial in the course and figure it out. So I think repeating the same kind of tour next year would be fantastic.
How many countries in total did your world tour bring up?
It was probably like 7. Like quite a few double ups. We went through a few different countries like Slovenia and whatever else while traveling, but most of Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Finland. I got to do Estonia beforehand, then Croatia, and yeah, and a few more in the middle. But beautiful place, and I highly recommend everyone checking it out. I think it's going to get pretty popular next year. Forward skip. Should be okay. It's so interesting comparing Europe. Like Australia kind of compares with a few courses we have. Gambia is beautiful down in Tassie. Wallaby Hill is beautiful. We've got a few others, but Europe is next level. Europe is, it is like taking a holiday and then you have to remind yourself that you're playing disc golf.
That's kind of what we're saying about where we're staying this week.
Yeah.
It's like we got to remember that this is a work trip.
Yeah, we're getting paid to be here. Keep it low, let it skip. Didn't keep it low, but C2. Yeah, but thankfully we've had kind of a few good days now of sunny skies, a little bit warmer temps, a little bit of wind too to like dry things out. Chatting with locals, they're saying that this is one of the wettest summers in at least 14 years. Had a lot of rain. So the course is, maybe it's hard to tell here, but the course has been pretty shredded and they've done a really good job, the guys here. Hey, bonus birdie. Cool.
What are you putting with?
I've got JK AVRs. I probably had them for at least 6 months.
Yeah, I think I remember you switching right to them right before the championship in Australia.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you remember. The other thing that I've been going through, like not just back issues, but I've been like trying to fix my form. So having the 2 weeks or 3 weeks we had gave me some time to do some field work.
So you bring up form. From what I know, you were in the ultimate scene before disc golf.
Yes,
so
a lot of ultimate.
Yeah, tell me about that transition.
Like a lot of people, it was a COVID time, so I've only had disc golf experience for 3.5 years or something like that. So I'm like the only person in Australia who's like taken it full time-ish. So whether that's good or bad, like I've had a great time. All right, let's see if we can hit this. Yeah, could be a little bit long, but hitting the gap is huge. Nice.
So how many times have you been to the States?
It's maybe like half a dozen now. So I first came here about 10 years ago in 2013 and was actually over in Massachusetts and convinced by a good friend at the time who was over on exchange in Australia to come over to the US and work a summer program and do some teaching. So I was like, hell yeah. I might throw 2 here. Let's just see how this goes. Normally I like the forehand. I can play that. But yeah, the tee shot is a good shot. It's in the middle. I get a look. Hopefully just throw stable, straight, fade right. I want to throw a Firebird, but I also might drift a PD. Let's see. Middle tree. See if we can hit the middle tree. Hold it! So that's fine. Let's throw this real quick. So high, faded right. So whereabouts did you grow up?
I grew up in New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay.
Yeah, South New Jersey, pretty much the only spot in the state that's like farms.
Okay, okay.
So I grew up like in the farmland.
Yep.
I graduated at 18 and then moved to Philadelphia.
Right, that's right, yeah. Because you're an Eagles fan?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is
it mandatory if you're in Philly to?
Philly, South Jersey for sure. A common hello is go Birds.
That's hilarious. Sit. Cool, we get a putt.
Yeah, and then I moved outside of the city for a little bit, about 2.5 years. I lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where all like the Amish communities are.
Cool.
And got real into disc golf then. And then kind of brought that back with me to Philly and just kept playing, and here we are today.
Nice. But yeah, the course looks beautiful at the moment. I think it's forecast for rain tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe even a storm.
What time do you tee?
I've got a pretty good tee time, just before 12 o'clock, 11:50, and on a card with GT Hancock, Coling, and Tristan Tanner. So that should be really fun. I guess the good thing about these courses too is there's a lot of similar shots. Or maybe it's not a good thing, I don't know. As a player trying to like play the course, there's a lot of similar shots. So there's 3 or 4 holes that are like this, straight for 75 meters and then stable at the end. Just about.
So if you can get one, you should be able to get all
Yeah,
of them.
exactly. You know, like you figured out one, then you figured out a whole bunch. So, and there's a lot of holes just like that as well. Just still like left-hand side that flips over. Cool, job done. I think I just need a little bit of chalk. I think that I've got enough power to go to stable Firebird. We'll see. Again, we're pretty protected in the trees, but it is slightly windy. Just don't want to go left. Commit straight. Is it high? Will it get lucky? It doesn't. Let's throw player 2. Okay, same thing, straight down the middle. Early as well. Okay. Yeah, this hole is OB left-hand side, so you don't want to turn over if you throw on the forehand. I did see a lot of the guys like Isaac before, just throwing putter down the middle and letting it turn. Surprised they're not just throwing a forehand. Slopes down to the right. There's no OB right. Cool. But yeah, in here, just hit the fairway. Hit the fairway, don't bite up too much. Yeah, have a good time.
What's your bag looking like these days? What do you got in
Look,
there?
I'll be honest, I have, in terms of new discs in my bag, like I picked these up in the last 3 weeks. Stable mid-range, NB4, in a Vermeil, of course. 2 PD2s and 2 PDs. So, with the change in form, I didn't want to be throwing a lot of drivers, just dialed it back a little bit, simplified things. So I've been using those a lot. They're like, even on some of the longer holes on Fox Run, just throwing like PD or PD2, try and hit the gap, keep it straight. But the rest of the bag's like pretty normal. I've got an old Mako 3, which is flippy. MD3, kind of straight, kind of turny. Nice little T-Bird, which is actually signed by the one and only Nick Hansen. It was Nick Halstead's, shout out. Thank you for giving it to me. And it did turn into a polecat because of the Nick Hansen situation. So thank you, Nick Hansen. It's been a staple in my bag for a while.
He'll be happy to hear that.
Oh yeah, and shout out to Darren Stay Smith for this nice little dye job. This was actually like a restaurant in Europe, in Croatia, that I love to go to.
Sick.
And he gave me this for Christmas. Cool, all right. So fun hole, what is it? 340, just over 100 meters. It's downhill 6 meters or something. Just throw a putter straight down the middle with a little bit of hyzer. I don't quite have the finesse at the moment to be hyzering. As long as I like throw straight down the middle, I'm happy. Smidge high, but good line. Okay, good, no trees. My guess is that it's gonna be a little bit long, kind of in some uncomfortable muddy putting area.
I'd say that was just about as in the middle as you can get.
Yeah, totally. So, small wins, I'm gonna take those. So I'm curious how they're going to play relief. 1 meter? Surely.
Probably.
Oh yeah, it's so squish. Perpendicular. Nice. But yeah, of all the places to be in the US, glad to have spent the last few weeks here. Beautiful, lovely. The only downside is the rain. Like I said, it's wetter summer than normal, and there's probably been on average about an inch of rain a week or something, and it's rained every other day. So yeah, again, the guys have done such a great job here on the course to fix that. But the parking lot where all the players are staying got destroyed, and even got destroyed probably only 2 days or so into most players getting there.
Yeah, I heard a lot of vans they have to stay put there until it dries up.
Yeah, exactly. So many got stuck, and again, thankfully the last 2 days have been pretty good. I think everyone can drive out if they want to. If I didn't have Clay around, I wouldn't be able to do any of this tour. You need a car. If you don't have a car here, like, public transport exists, but you can't rely on it. And especially, like, you know, driving to the course, driving to accommodation, picking up food. So thank you, Clay. Straight shot, fade at the end, skip at the end if you can. Hit the gap. Perfect. Perfect. Cool. Oh wait, it rolled down.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, so this is kind of the bad thing. If you go too long, you get pinched off with this gap that's up here. Then you gotta like flex something to the right, but you wanna be right. See it, see it. Cool, we're up there. Definitely a putt. Up. Yeah. Cool. Some of the crew, some of the staff here were saying there's a bear they saw the other day with 2 cubs.
Really?
Yeah, and they talked about some of the bear shit. So I think they eat a bunch of berries. So their shit is often just full of berries or seeds or whatever. It's a little bit more obvious when you see, because there's a few times I saw this like clump of something on the ground and was like, hang on, it looks like shit, but I can't tell from what. And they're like, oh no, it's a bear. So.
Well, the saying, does a bear shit in the woods? I guess yeah, it does.
Certainly does if you see it, absolutely.
So you bring up the wildlife.
Yeah.
Clearly we have to compare it to the Australian wildlife.
Yeah, we do, probably, yeah. I'll make 2 comparisons. Like, the US is beautiful. There's like so many more dangerous things here, like bears. You've got like cougars and mountain lions and whatever, coyotes. We've got the like insects and smaller creatures taken care of, the ones you never want to see. But daddy longlegs here actually are a little bit bigger. It's been kind of cool to like see those. Even in Europe there was a bunch.
It's really funny to hear that you say that we have a lot of the dangerous
totally.
animals here.
Because we've got the dangerous small insects that you can't see and that are probably in your shoes. But you guys have the ones that'll tear you apart and leave you be. Australia for sure has the most wildlife overall. Birds everywhere all the time. There's insects, frogs, like whatever. You'll probably see a snake every half dozen times you're playing, I don't know, in summer. You'll see wallabies, you'll see kangaroos. like bush turkeys, like lots of stuff is around all the time. If you're not seeing like some kind of animal, like it's a bit funky. US has slightly less, but Europe has considerably less. I think it's because they're for the most part further north. So worse winters, like the same kinds of animals can't really maintain without having to like migrate too heavily. So it was just so weird being in Europe again this year and kind of like looking around again and being like, I don't see or hear any birds around. Like, where's all the like small to medium sized animals? You saw like one deer one time, but that was it. In Australia, if you're not seeing a wallaby or a kangaroo or something every day, even near the big cities, like you're, like it's a bit, like that'd be weird. Slightly too much, fight. Oh, okay. That'll be fun to see. You definitely don't want to be off the fairway, like I said. Fairway is great. See if I can pitch out into the fairway, take a par, that'll be a bonus. Hold, yeah, okay. That, dude. Nice, Thomas.
Appreciate it.
That's so smooth. Nice shot. Yep. It's like, you call that a good shot, Thomas?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, that was it. Perfect. I was like, I just throw it out real quick and not think about it. I'll take that.
They're definitely moving slow.
Super slow. At least it's not a 9-person card. It's always good. Okay, so fairway. Fairway. Turn it over. Just sit. Ah, that's fine. Fairway. Yeah. So, yeah, if that second shot wasn't quite so turned over, being here, you could have probably good look to save par, but you just don't want to be off the fairway ever. So that par becomes pretty challenging. I'll get a C3 for par. What else? So we got the players' dinner tonight. Free food, everyone can love that. Opening ceremony, so I think I'm fortunate to be able to fly the Australian flag.
Oh, you'll be carrying it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, like no one really cares. It's no big deal,
I think it's pretty cool.
but it's pretty cool.
Are you the only Australian here?
Yeah, yeah. So, all of Europe, all of the US. It is one of the things, like one of the reasons I wanted this tour to be so long. Get some great experience. Myself play a lot, but I want to like motivate other people because we got a lot of talent. We have heaps of talent. So I've already had messages from half a dozen people saying, hey, like let's book an Airbnb for next year already. But yeah, I just want to like show to everyone that, hey, even some silly dickhead like me can come and make this happen and make it happen pretty cheaply. So anyone else can, it's so much fun. Like if you could be doing anything else, would you? Wouldn't you want to be doing this? So
We're moving quick.
Oh, right on further. We can be almost fine.
that could be a pickup.
Maybe throw one more.
No, 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 no. That's all good. Oh. It would have been great to lace that. But not enough time, I don't think. I certainly rushed that.
That's a lesson of rushing your
Totally, yeah.
process.
It's always a good reminder. Don't do it, take your time. But just enough time, not too much time. Gosh. Nice putt, dude. Yeah, or alternatively, you like slide down, perfect line, you slide down, then you just get on edge, hit the tree, roll all the way down the hill. So bonus birdie, I would say, even though the tee shot is pretty, just throw a mid straight, pretty straightforward. But yeah, you can kick early, you can kick right, you can 3-putt. Fairway's good.